Hi, Soul Pilots. This is Stephanie today with you again. Now, I first off want to tell you, don't look at me. Don't you dare look at me, because the topic today is of apparently a part of our body that some say only make 0.02% of our body mass, which is our eyes. And our eyes is so central to our perception, to our world, how we exist. Most of our existence is based out of our perception from our eyes. So I just wanted to focus on that, but not just in the physical sense, but also the spiritual impact that your eyes have on your soul. So I was reading this book, and I suggest you get it. It's called The Practical Tanya. Please get it and read it. It's blowing my mind, and it's written by Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi. So take a look at that. I'm reading that. So our eyes make up so much of our world, and so much of the accumulation of what we feel about others and ourselves. Think about it like this. Think about the last time you had really low self-esteem. Was it brought on by words, or was it brought on by looks? Not necessarily bad looks from a person. And that can affect your self-esteem wholly, absolutely. But when you see someone has a feature or a physical characteristic, by your perception from your eyes, when you limit your ideals from your perception, you take that on emotionally and spiritually. So it was the visuals that created that moment. I know a lot of people, and the general consensus is that your mind, your thoughts come first and action, right? So thoughts, then action. But people don't take into consideration that it's not just the thoughts that create action, but it's your perception, what you perceive with your physical senses, that can bring a negative spiritual effect on yourself, and also you can project that on others. And you yourself, hey, we all suffer from low self-esteem at one point or another. And I think a lot of it is due to what we see, what we have observed, and a lot of the things, it's observation. I have observed maybe this person has gotten special treatment because of how they look, or we assume so. Or we have observed the opposite effect. Someone has received negative treatment, maybe because they're not dressed the way one would expect them to dress, or, how they look, or, they may not be quote unquote presentable. But who really is the one to determine that? So it's your observation. And we as a society, we are all interconnected. We are all part of this one matrix together. So we feed off of each other, and we feed off of what the collective thinks about. We feed off of the collective thought process and the collective thought energy, and we feed off of that, and that creates our world. So when we observe how a fellow man treats someone, people seem to follow that pattern unless you make a proactive decision to follow the highest form of thinking, which is, of course, the creator, Hashem. That's the highest form of thinking. So the eyes are very important, even though it's such a small percent of our body mass. It is almost one of the greatest factors in affecting our spiritual and emotional life. And also hearing too. and touching and feeling and tasting and smelling. But today we'll just focus on the eyes. And I know you've heard this. You've heard this before. Don't give me that evil eye look. Don't look at me with evil eyes. I'm serious, you guys. Don't look at me with those evil eyes. Evil eye is such a universal concept. Like, if you just Google it, it's prominent in the Middle East, the Mediterranean, West Asia, Ethiopia, Brazil, Morocco, especially Morocco. Oh my gosh. So the evil eye concept is so universal. If something is so universal, maybe there's a little bit of maybe truth to it, you could say. So the eyes are so paramount to your soul. So what I have to do, to be honest, I am going to admit the truth. I'll take the stand and say this. I have looked at people before and thought not nice thoughts because of maybe their appearance, the way they present themselves, or guess what? We're going to touch a sensitive topic, which you probably have touched on. Maybe this person might, maybe they have a speech impediment, or maybe they might even have a disability, and people get judged for their disability. So we all have had those initial thoughts like, okay. So what you have to do is you have to catch yourself in that moment. Catch yourself in that moment and say that, wait a minute. I am not better than this person. Do I have to be any louder? Do I have to get any louder? I should have warned you. I'm sorry. I should have put the phone away and not have spoken so loud in your ear. I'm sorry. But catch yourself, because you are not. I'm telling you, you are not. No matter what position you are in, you are not better than any of your fellow human being. You have to humble yourself. You have to be in between humility and being confident in just being a living being produced by Hashem. That should be your confidence. Your confidence shouldn't be based on you thinking that you are better than someone in this universe. And guess what? You're not. You're not. Because everyone in existence here is worthy to be alive, or they wouldn't be on this planet. So everybody has a human right, human dignity to receive respect and not to have to believe that they're less than anyone. Now, whatever issue someone is going through, if they're going through like drug problems, if they're in poverty, that's their own spiritual issue that's between them and Hashem. That's not for you. That's not for you. It's not for you to think that you're better than them. That's not your place. Someone's spiritual life is between them and Hashem. Now, if Hashem guides you to help them, if your judgment of them initially is channeled to being of help, understandable. If you're assessing the situation, okay, this person, yes, they're in poverty. If you're going to use that assessment for positivity, absolutely. But listen, anybody can fall spiritually. Anybody can fall into poverty, into spiritual negativity. Anybody. There's a belief, a Hasidic belief, that basically there are, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, there are different worlds, there are different spiritual worlds, right? And you go through different levels in each of the spiritual worlds. And you have to make sure you have successfully elevated yourself to the next world before you can be around certain things. That's because if you're not fully elevated, it's so easy to fall back into old behavior. You don't want to fall back into old behavior. So whenever you see yourself thinking negative thoughts about someone, catch yourself and say, I should not be doing this, because you really shouldn't. Because you don't know where you were in a past lifetime, okay? And you don't know how far along this person. You don't know what they've overcome. You don't know what they had to go through in life or their past lives. You don't know what they're carrying from their past lives. So it's not your right to judge. And if you're in a good position in life, that was a blessing to you, and you must use your blessing of being in a satisfying relationship or in a satisfying position to do good for the world. So if you're in a place of comfort, you need to do something to give back. You don't have to give money necessarily. You can give advice. You can give a smile. You can give a non-judgmental look. Catch yourself. Catch yourself with your eyes. Catch yourself with that evil eye. Because in this book that you should read too, it's called The Practical Tanya, like I was saying. And it says, there's one good part. Well, there's many good parts, but this part relating to what we're talking about is the task of my divine soul is to enlighten my animal soul about its erroneous perception and to teach it the truth beyond its limited sensory faculties. So basically you have an animal soul and you have a divine soul. And that animal soul is where your jealousy, anger, your judgment, your entitlement, can I say entitlement again? Entitlement, anger, that's where it comes from, the animal soul. Competitiveness, all of these traits can be channeled for goodness. But most people have difficulty transferring whatever negative energy to that positive energy. So constantly, this is not I'm saying for one day, one day I'm going to be a good person. One day I'm going to be a good person. One day I'm going to restrict myself. One day I'm going to not look at people with evil eye. But then because I'm tired, F it. I'm going to be rude to the customer service agent that I was talking to on the phone because I forgot to bring my right credit card. I'm just going to, because I'm tired. Just because you're tired doesn't give you an excuse to give evil eye to people, to judge people. Everybody's tired. Everybody. So being tired is not an excuse. That's why in my prior podcasts, I tell people, please replenish yourself spiritually. What are you feeding yourself? You're feeding yourself after work. You're feeding yourself with Instagram. That's not how you replenish. And that's why you're so tired. And that tiredness is causing you to sin and cause evil eye and cause things against yourself. Now, if you would replenish yourself spiritually, and I know it's hard because you want relief. You work hard every day, school, whatever business. If you're a business owner, you're tired. I understand that, but that doesn't give you a right to judge and be rude to people. You replenish yourself. Replenish yourself with good energy, meditate, eat good food, and then you won't be so tired and you won't be so mean. Right? Okay. So think about the impact that your eyes, think about, and I hate to sound religious-y, but I secretly am. But this podcast is for everyone, because everyone has a soul and everyone is a spiritual being, whether they like it or not. You're a spiritual being. So I'm telling y'all, accept it. So accept the fact that at every moment, you have to look at your behavior. And I'm going to probably mention this in just about every podcast. So get used to it if you're listening. All right. Get used to it. Every moment is work. Every moment you have a decision. Am I going to restrict this feeling? Catch yourself. Catch yourself. Did I look at this person with judgment? That person feels it. You guys don't think people feel how you look at them? Especially with this mask on? Really? When all I have is to look at your eyes and I can't see your mouth? I feel what your eye is giving me, and people feel it too. Respect your fellow human being. Try to not leave them feeling with low self-esteem. That is not helping them. Whatever situation they are in is between them and Hashem. Don't judge them. That's not for you. Because I don't know what's in your past life. I don't know what you've done, and you don't know what I've done. But guess what? I'm here. I really don't know what I did, but I'm trying to make up for it. Okay, I'm trying. You know. So I hope you guys, take this feedback, and I really hope you apply, because I'm trying to apply it myself. Of course, I'm human, but I'm trying to be better than just my animal soul. I'm trying to connect with my divine soul, and everybody has the ability to do that. You do as well, and Hashem wants the best out of you. He wants the best out of you, and he wants the best for you. He does expect a lot from us, or they do expect a lot from us, and they know that we can fall, but as long as we get back up again. Yes, I'm gonna say cliches today. So as long as you get back up again, you're gonna fall, but it's okay. You're gonna get back up again. As long as you have that life alert called Hashem is your life alert. Okay? You just connect to Hashem, say, okay, I've fallen spiritually. Hashem, please send 911, send your angels. That's Hashem's 911. Send your angels to pick me up, because I've fallen, but I'm back up again, and you're gonna make it. You're doing great. I just want to let you guys know, whatever situation you're in, you are doing a great job, because I know that you all, including myself, are doing the best you can right now, and you're doing a great job. Okay, we just got to be mindful of what we do, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, you guys. All right. Thank you for listening, my soul pilots, and I will speak with you next time.